clear. He said, because even if you find an evil person, a sinner, who does evil, he said he does not want to do it while righteous people are watching him. An evil person who likes to sin, he doesn't want to sin in front of righteous people. He said, then you have to keep in mind that Allah Ta'ala is observing all of the actions of the creation. He said, so therefore, if a person is too shy for a righteous person to see him doing a sin, then he has to be more shy in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, that Allah Ta'ala will see the person doing a sin. As Al-Qahtani, he said in his Nuniyya, he said something very important, ya akhwan, especially with the internet, right? He said, when you are all alone in the darkness and your soul begins to whisper to you to transgress, he said, then be shy and remember your Lord and say to your soul, verily the one who created the darkness can still see me. Even when it's dark, remind yourself that the one who created the darkness can still see me. Right? Darkness is a creation from Allah Ta'ala. Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, he explained what does it mean to be shy from Allah Ta'ala. He says shyness from Allah in its true form is to tahfaz ra'sak wa ma wa'a, that you preserve your head and what you put in it, that you preserve your stomach and what you fill it with, and that you remember death. He said, and whoever wants the next life, he leaves off the glamour of this life. And whoever has done this, then he has been shy from Allah in his proper manner. He said, preserve your head. What's on the head, ya akhwan? Eyes, nose, tongue, ears. So to preserve the head is to preserve what you look at, preserve what you listen to, preserve what you say. Ibn Rajab, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him, he said one of the ways to be shy from Allah Azza wa Jal is to remember the favors of Allah Ta'ala. Right? What does that mean? We mentioned to be grateful for a favor is to do what, ya akhwan? What does it mean to show gratitude for a favor that you have been given by Allah Ta'ala? Okay. Now, that first that you actually thank him for it, for that favor, and then you use that favor in a way that he is pleased with. So when you find a lot of people that say, yeah, I'm grateful, I'm thankful. Can we really say that? If we're grateful for our eyes, can we say we only use our eyes for the halal? We only use our ears for the halal? We don't look at anything haram because we're grateful for our eyes? That's a big statement to make. Now, next, ya akhwan, after we are shy from Allah Ta'ala, may Allah make me and you shy from him. Who do you think, who else do we have to be shy from? The malaika, ya akhwan. The angels. Sheikh makes a tremendous point, ya akhwan. The Messenger of Allah salam, he said, Man akal al-basr wa thum. He said, whoever eats onions or garlic, then let him not come close to this masjid of ours, because verily the angels are harmed by what the son of Adam is harmed with. Right? So if a person eats raw onions or raw garlic and it has a smell, and as a footnote, Shaykh Abdul Razak al-Badr, he said, and even more so, cigarettes. He said you find some people and they smoke right outside the masjid. And they come inside the masjid with smoke breath. He said, and then they say, they recite the Al-Fatiha. He said, you reciting the Al-Fatiha, this is the best surah in the Quran. He said, to recite it with smoke breath is disrespectful. He said, if you know the meaning of what you're reciting, you would never recite that with smoke breath. If you knew the words that were coming out of your mouth, you wouldn't do it with smoke breath. He said, so it's upon you to stop smoking, and if you can't, at least be respectful and brush your teeth. Don't recite the book of Allah Ta'ala with smoke breath. Disrespectful. Now, but listen to what Ibn Qayyim said, Jakhwan. SubhanAllah. Allah Ta'ala, ya Akhwan, he says in Surah Al-Infitar, verses 10 to 12, he says, وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ كِرَامًا كَاتِبِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Right? Pay attention to this ayah, Akhwan. This is, Allah Ta'ala is telling us this for a reason, right? He says, verily there are over you guardians, right? Kiraman, they are noble and honorable. And they are scribes, and they know that what you do. He said, so Ibn Qayyim mentions that Allah Ta'ala told you that these angels are honorable, so you need to honor them. You need to honor them. He says, so think about it, right? If the angels are harmed by smoke and onions and garlic, just like people are harmed by that, they're also harmed by watching us commit sins. That irritates the angels. Just like a person will be irritated by watching us commit sins. So for the angels that have to watch us sin, you're irritating them by making them watch that. Because they're the scribes, they're writing down everything we do. And they have to watch us do this ma'asiyah. He said, and because they're irritated, it doesn't stop there. He says, so if a slave angers and harms or irritates an angel by any type of sin or oppression or lewdness, then the angels make dua against them. And they say, La jazakallahu khair. They say, may Allah not reward you with good. The angels make dua against that person when that person irritates them by sinning. Just like if that person does good, then they make dua for that person. He said, Ibn Qayyim said, for this reason, some of the Sahaba would say, verily inna ma'akum man la yufarikukum. Verily there is with you those who are never going to leave your side. So be shy of them and honor them. He said, meaning be shy in front of them, these noble scribes who are honorable. And don't let them see anything from you that you should be too shy to do. Listen to what he said, Jakhwan, and this is the truth, right? He said, because you'll find a person, a man, who he may do the same sin you're doing, but if you do it in front of him, you're going to irritate him, right? You may find a person who he may listen to music when he's all by himself, right? He may get weak and listen to music. But if you're riding in a car with him and you turn on the tune, he's going to be upset. How you have the audacity to play music in the car while I'm in the car with you? You think I am? And he may, that could be his favorite song. But it's just you showing me no respect by playing music in front of me. Ain't that right? That's offensive. You ride in a car with somebody, he just starts smoking. Like, what do you think I am? You think I smoke? He says, so how about the angels who don't do these sins? If the person who does the same sin will be irritated by it, what about the angels who don't do any sins at all? It irritates them, Yakhwan. Something we have to think about. That before we sin, angels are right beside us watching everything we do. Now, if you were to, think about it, Yakhwan. If you were to do a sin, may Allah Ta'ala save me and you from our sins. Think about it. If a person was on his computer at the internet looking at something haram, and the wind hit that door, you would have a heart attack. If you thought your wife walked in behind you, you would have a heart attack. Your kid or the sheikh so-and-so behind you, probably pass out. True, right? Well, the angels are right there looking at you. And your Lord Azza wa Jalla is looking at us. But, as one of the Salaf said, don't make Allah the most insignificant one watching you. Meaning that when you're alone, you do whatever. Don't make Allah the most insignificant one watching you. we also have to be shy of others. Listen to the example, Ya Akhwan, of the Salaf. And I want someone to tell me why he did this. We're speaking about the great Sahaba, Ali ibn Abi Talib. May Allah Ta'ala be pleased with him. He wanted to ask a question to the Messenger of Allah alayhi salam about pre-seminal sperm fluid. You know, when a man and his wife are hugging, and pre-seminal sperm fluid comes out. But he was too shy to ask the question, so he went and told Miqdad, and that's why he said, "You go ask the question." Why didn't he want to ask the question, Akhwan? Why was he too shy to ask the question?
He was too shy because at the end of the day, that was Rasulullah's daughter.
Ahsantum. That was his daughter. He's not going to go ask the father if you have pre-seminal sperm, because that's his daughter. So he was too shy to do that. So he told Miqdad, "You go ask this question." And Miqdad asked the question. He told him, "Wash off your private area and make wudu." See how manners, Akhwan. You gotta have manners with people, Now, so we have being shy in front of Allah, being shy in front of the angels, being shy in front of people. Who else is left? One person left that you have to be shy in front of. Yourself. Gotta be shy in front of yourself, Akhwan. Asfahani, may Allah have much upon him, he said, the person is going to be shy in front of those he has a lot of respect for, those he exalts, those he has a lot of respect for. Now, he said, so you won't find a person being shy in front of an animal, right? A person doing something haram, a cat walks by, he doesn't, no, that's a cat, He said, or from children, a baby who doesn't know, okay, that's Michael Jackson. The baby doesn't know who that is. He's not going to be shy from the baby, right? Or from those people that don't know right from wrong. He says, and he's going to be more shy from a scholar than he's going to be from a jahil, than an ignorant person. He's going to be more shy from a group than from one person. He said, so the one who is shy in front of the people and he is not shy in front of himself, then he has a low opinion of himself. He has no self-worth at all. He thinks he's nothing because he's not shy in front of himself. He says, and the one who has no shyness in front of Allah Ta'ala, then he doesn't actually know that Allah Ta'ala is watching him. He doesn't know this. Sheikh Fawzan Ya Akhwan, he mentions about the 6 pillars of faith, and the last one being what? What's number 5, belief in the Day of Judgment. Sheikh Fawzan says there's no benefit in believing in the Day of Judgment if you don't prepare yourself for it. So what's the benefit? You say, yeah, I believe in the Day of Judgment. Okay, are you doing something for it? You say that you believe that there's a hellfire and you don't do anything to get away from it. You believe there's a paradise and you're not doing anything to get to it. Nah. So the person actually has to know that Allah Ta'ala is watching him and turn that knowledge into action, okay? Then we're going to mention some examples of shyness of the Salaf, Ya Akhwan. Some more examples, all right? And we want for the women to reflect upon their shyness around men, and for the brothers to reflect upon their shyness around the women. And this includes the internet, Ya Akhwan. The internet. Now, SubhanAllah. Our mother, Aisha, may Allah Ta'ala be pleased with her, the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, she said, كنت أدخل بيتي الذي دفن فيه رسول الله. She said, I used to enter the home or the room in which the Messenger of Allah was buried in. You know, the Messenger of Allah was buried in her room, right? She said, so I would enter the room that he was buried in, and her father was also buried right beside him. She said, so I would take off my hijab and I would say, it's only my father and my husband. So, and they were buried there, Ya Akhwan. They were not alive. The Messenger of Allah buried her father, buried right beside him. So she would go in the room, she would take off her hijab. She said, but when Umar was buried with them, she said, I swear by Allah, I never entered that room except